thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Rainforest Reptile Show's YouTube channel.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
Hey everyone, this is Mac from Rainforest Reptile Shows. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching the video. You can see here that I'm just doing a quick walkthrough of the expo itself, kind of looking around, seeing what's going on. But you may be wondering what RRS Oasis is. That's our 501c3 nonprofit entity that we use to help fund a lot of the animals that we do have in our care. It's a really important organization, taking in hundreds, if not thousands, of animals every single year from all different situations, things like confiscations from law enforcement, abuse cases where people are not treating animals all that well, and surrendered pets that are legal to possess. In addition to all of this, we also train law enforcement agencies on how to deal in potentially dangerous situations when you're dealing with reptiles, things like venomous snakes, large constrictors, and crocodilians. This is actually the first Reptile Expo we've ever attended as Rainforest Reptile Shows or RRS Oasis in the 32 years of being established. You may be wondering to yourself, why are we doing it now? Well, we've had a really big internal discussion and we want to make sure that we're promoting proper pet ownership. Again, a lot of the animals that we get in every single year, and again, hundreds or not thousands of animals, are all from the pet trade. And it is something that we want to make sure that we're promoting everyone properly taking care of their animals and really doing the research that it takes to be responsible pet owners. You can see all the really cool species at the expo. And a lot of these species can make really, really great pets if we take the time to make sure we know what we're doing when we purchase them. Some animals can live a really long time or need a really big space, so it's really important that we're taking that time in consideration when we're purchasing a pet. But not all species make really good pets. And speaking of which, one of the animals we brought to the expo that you saw a little bit earlier was the Gaboon Viper. And we have about 70 venomous reptiles in our care at this current time. And this individual actually came to us after biting the previous owner who had this animal illegally possessed in the state of Vermont. These types of animals are not species that someone should be getting, first of all, without the proper permitting, but second of all, if they don't have immense experience working with venomous reptile species. It's incredibly important that you know what you're doing because they are super duper dangerous. But that all being said, we had an awesome time attending the expo and really got to meet some amazing people, as well as see some old friends that we haven't seen in a long time. And I do want to give a special thank you to the New England Herpetological Society for inviting us to the expo and giving us an opportunity to be able to promote the proper care and messaging that comes along with keeping these reptiles. Now, if you want to see our friend Bean, the Prehensile-Tailed Skink, have a training session, please make sure to tune in further and you'll have an opportunity here. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon.
So, what we're doing today is we're target training our friend Bean, the Prehensile-Tailed Skink. And what I'm using is positive reinforcement. So when Bean does something that I like, I'll reinforce him with a piece of his food.
Good.
And then he gets his piece of lettuce.
He's so cute.
Bean's a brand new ambassador. He was born in December by two of our Solomon Island skink residents at our sanctuary, RRS Oasis. And now, sequenced so that he knows what he needs to do. You can see that tail wrapping around the edge. He does it perfectly what he needs to, and then he gets his piece of food. So something really cool with this target behavior that we'll eventually be able to do is use it as a guide. So that's pretty much what a target does, is it allows us to guide him where we would like him to go. So one of the really cool behaviors that you can do with these guys is because they have that prehensile tail like we talked about, we can actually use it to guide him down and just hang from his tail so that all different individuals, when they come up to see, can see how that tail operates and works and why it's so important for a species like this. And again, we need to redirect and make sure that we're not biting our target. And the other portion of what I'm doing today is I'm actually touch training Bean. So Bean started to associate food with hands after being hand-fed. So that's something that we're trying to negate at this point because we don't want him trying to nip at anyone's fingers. So when I do reinforce him for his piece of food, I'll just gently touch him and get him conditioned to that touch so that he's more comfortable with it over time. And then eventually what we'll do is we'll build it into a full behavior. So I'll touch him, reinforce him with that piece of lettuce, and then go from there. Lettuce honestly is his favorite type of food. He prefers it over anything. If this piece of lettuce touches a type of fruit he doesn't like, he will not eat it. He's a pretty picky eater. Now, one other thing that we always consider whenever we're training an animal is to make sure that they are having their diets adjusted whenever we're using all these different diet pieces to reinforce him.
Yeah, they are. They're retractable, similar to what our rattlesnakes do in the US. They can actually pull them out directly like this and jab. So they can go like this, straight out, just like a rattlesnake.